Hello my scrappy friends and a big welcome to my channel. Today it's Melinda Sweetman here with you and I am sharing my most recent creation with you for Cut to You. This is the layout that I've created and I'm using the super fun Confetti Background cut file once again. I promised last month that I would be back with another share with it and here it is. So for today's share I'm using another glitter cardstock and this one is an ombre rainbow. You can see here that I have flipped my background cut file so that there is more confetti at the bottom. I'll link to the other video up in the top right for you, so you can check that one out. But I thought I would start by making this one different by flipping that cut file. And the photo that I'm scrapbooking is this one of my birthday cupcakes from last year. I think last year. That hubby made for me. There is a mix of chocolate and vanilla cupcakes with a rainbow icing that also has sparkles on it. Because what 42-year-old doesn't need rainbow cupcakes with glitter sparkly icing, right? I decided to dive back into my stash kit once again, and what I've done this time, I've pulled out all the black and white and grey like offcuts of paper and 6x6 papers that I've got in here, and I thought that would be a really fun way of making my rainbow really pop on this page. So you can see I'm just trimming everything down so it is making a I've got straight lines on each side. I've backed my photo with some textured white, sorry, not textured, it's printed white vellum. And then I dove back into my stash to find a black and white print to be the first layer behind my photo. And I wanted this particular one and not any of the others because, number one, it fit around my photo. And number two, it was like a more consistent pattern. All the rest were more, like that stripe is quite obviously a stripe. And I didn't love the way they were looking behind it. So I'm just going to play with my papers here and layer them up in a way that I'm happy with them. My photo is a tiny bit smaller than 4x6. So none of these are going to fit 100% behind my photo, which I'm okay with. You can see I'm just pulling in bits and pieces here, layering them up until I've got some layers that I'm happy with. I'm really happy with how that is looking, so I'm going to run with that. Then I like this, it's the branding strip that held it into the 6x6 paper pad. It's got the little arrows on it. I'm going to use that as well. So I'm just grabbing some Distress Oxide in Black Soot. I'm going to ink the edges of all my papers and a lot of my embellishments as well. I just feel like that is going to unify everything and it just kind of emphasizes that black and white with the rainbow. So I'm just adding ink to everything. I've added a layer of foam behind my photo to pop that up, and I'm just going to add these layers back in. Just using my tape runner. I really love the way this layout came together in the end. This was super fun. I didn't realize actually until I just wrote my blog post how both this one and my other page ended up being like having a vertical strip across the center of the page. That wasn't planned at all. With this one I wasn't sure how I was going to make this page, and then when I started moving my photo around, I got all my black and white elements here. Once I've stuck all my layers together, I think I'm going to ink my background and stick that down. See, I'm just trying to get a couple more layers in there if I can. You can see I've got it over to the right hand side. Obviously, if you've seen the photos, it doesn't stay there. Oh, that's right. I felt like I needed a little bit of something else. So I'm going to use this diagonal stripe. Can see I'm umming and ahhing about it. My problem with that one was it was like starting and stopping in the same places as some of the other patterns, which I didn't love. So I'm going to ink that up and it's going to go down the bottom here. I do try to add the other one in, and I don't think it makes it. So you can see I pretty quickly moved that over to the left hand side. I'm not 100% sure because of the hole in that branding strip, but I'll work with that. I've inked up my background, and so because I'm sticking this directly to my glitter, I am adding Scotch tacky glue, and you can see I'm just kind of going in between all the confetti cut out pieces here and just kind of squiggling glue everywhere. I just want to make sure this is going to stick in place. There we go. I'm going to eyeball it. The beautiful thing about using glitter cardstock as well is you don't see the imperfections of if you accidentally get glue somewhere that you don't want it. I have also, so I'm actually working with my stash kit that I created ages ago. I'm really enjoying working with it when I can, and I'm not putting any pressure on myself to quickly bust through it. It's about enjoying my hobby, I think, so I'm really enjoying that. And in my effort to use up more of my stash, I also pulled in a Charms Creation heart. This one is one of the ones with the printed papers on top with the hearts and clouds and rainbow. I thought it was perfect for this. And then I pulled from the same kit this happy sticker. It is from, I just moved the sticker sheet, it's from that in the pink. So for the rest of my embellishments, I'm going to go with either single colours or black or white. I felt like that was going to be the best way to not overwhelm the page. I also, I did think about going with like colour on colour, but then that kind of limited me to pink and purple where this vellum strip ends up, and I didn't want to do that. So that's how I ended up using the black and white, and you can see that I use that all through all of my embellishing just to tie that all together, and a little bit of grey as well. That heart has got some grey in it too. You saw that I tried to stick my title straight onto my background, but the letters started to get a bit lost. So I did grab a piece of vellum and I tore that, and you can see I stretched that across the length of my page, and I'm just going to build my title here. It's going to read Happy Birthday to Me. So again, those fun thickers, I love them so much, and going with a rainbow of colours, but again, each of them are single colours. And I just to carry those alphas around, I've popped the 42 onto my photo, and I'm just using the backing sheet here of these stickers to add some more adhesive to my word happy. It's been in my stash for a long time, so the adhesive is not that amazing. I'll pop that in there. My word birthday is still legible. I really like the way that's all laid up. I'm going to stick this down. Off camera, I do add some foam underneath this other side of my heart. This is also from my kit, Doodlebug. These are so fun. So that rainbow just fit perfectly exactly where I put it. I'm going to pull in these clouds. I thought I was still playing with the idea of going, adding all the colours. So I've popped those to the side there. Then I jumped back into my bits and pieces from my stash kit, and I found this little offcut of this black and white camera print that I love so much, and I get to get that onto a page, so I'm really excited about that. Continuing on with my black and white, I've pulled out some of these black and white labels from Pretty Little Studio that were in my kit. I've only got 2 black and white ones, so easy fix. I'm going to chop one in half. One half is going to go here, and you can see I've half covered up that hole, but I'm going to add more there, so that'll be easy enough to cover up. Then I'm going to add the other half here. One is slightly bigger than the other, so I'm just going to swap those around, ink them up, stick them down, and then to work with my triangle, I'm going to pop the third one down the bottom here. I do play with placement just a little bit, it has to be in just the right spot. So that is going to go in there, and I'm going to add my tiny bit of journaling a bit later, make sure everything's where I want it to be. And then I was like, right, what else can I add here that is black or white? I found these. These are also from Doodlebug, I think. I'm not sure. And I'm just going to add some of these little clouds. I'm like, I've got the big ones. I'm going to shuffle the placement a little bit. So I've got two bigger clusters on the right hand side. So I'm going to have one of the bigger clouds in each of those. And then the smaller clouds, so the ones on the right hand side, I have actually got this really faint grey like check pattern to them. I'm not sure how well you can see that. And the one on the left that's all over there by itself is just a plain one. I also had these black and white stars from the same pack I got the labels from. This is a pack of clear stickers from Kmart. I've had them in my stash for ages, but they're black on clear. I love them. I'm so excited I got some onto a layout. So the camera fits perfectly there. I'm going to add those hearts there. I swapped this heart out for the smaller one and add that to the left. And then I think I'm going to finish off my title. So glossy accents, and I'm just going to add a layer of that over my pink word happy. I'm going to leave that overnight to dry, and then I'll pop back and show you what I've done, because I also added a couple of extra things off camera. So here we are the next morning. I've stuck everything down. I've added a black heart down to the bottom there and some word strips. Those word strips all come from a Heidi Swap sticker book. So the one up the top says the best, the one to the right says, to the left says good stuff, and then the two down the bottom say the simple things and live in the moment. I did have to go back into my stash to find some sprinkly bits that would work. I found these puffy stickers from Ellie's Studio. I'm going to go with a grey heart in each of my 3 clusters. You can see me just trying to position that. A white star in each of those clusters, and then a black dot. Now I've used the black dots from this sheet, so I covered up the purple ones. I figured they were the ones I was least likely to use, so I just used my Copic marker and covered them up. I'm going to add those in. And then I'm going to add in my journaling. The alcohol ink just takes a little while to dry, which is why I'm using my knife here. I do go back in and use glue to stick everything down. So I've added my journaling and then some black splatters. So you can see how the black and white has really made all the colour on this page pop. I really love how this page came together. This page is more similar to the other one than I thought it was going to be, but they still look very different. They're not going to be one after another in my layout, in my album, which is funny because my birthday is the end of July and his is the end of August, but there'll be a few layouts in between. And you know what, even if someone goes, hey, that looks the same, well, that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my share today. If you do have any questions, please make sure you drop them below. As always, thank you ever so much for choosing to spend your scrappy time with me. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in my next process video. Have a fantastic day, my friends.